Greetings, YouTube. Happy Sunday. You are staring at the newly released image of the champion, someone that some people still think looks like Medusa with the sex change, or my personal favorite, somehow that Beast and Medusa had a child, which would be an entirely new definition of the word bestiality, if that is the case. But regardless, we know this is the new champion to the contest in the month of November, which will be kick-started in just the next week, and this will also be the first champion, thanks to Otriux data mining, that is set to be the first Grandmaster featured crystal of the month of November. So, yes, there's a lot to talk about within this one image, but I want to focus primarily on the synergy bonuses because I think they're very fascinating, they're unique, they're different, and anytime you are starting to change the meta of the game, it's really important to discuss it because it will determine who you rank up as your next rank 4 5-star, rank 5 4-star, etc. So, as an Elder of the Universe member, the champion is able to control an energy source referred to as the Power Primordial, the residential energy that is left over from the Big Bang itself, not the Big Bang of Medusa and Beast, by the way. He channels the energy to enhance his physical form, and he seeks out the greatest fighters in the universe to test the limits of his powers. By the way, he is also a Cosmic Champion. For those of you who've been somehow saving your Cosmic Awakening gems, though I doubt that he will be as useful right off the bat as, say, Medusa or Corvus or Hyperion, even though I realize Medusa out of those three benefits the most from being awakened. All right, so let's talk about the synergy bonuses. I do want to point out real quick, though, that true accuracy is part of this champion, so maybe that will come into effect against auto-block champs like Medusa and MODOK. We will see. Typically, that is something that True Strike is about. True accuracy, which I think I've seen mainly when I use Proxima Midnight, not as much, but we'll see. Okay. So first of all, the first synergy bonus listed is those of you who still love Luke Cage, and man, is that a solid champion, especially in questing and, say, even Alliance War. Tough Brawlers. The champion is unstoppable when using a light and medium attack. I find that to be so freaking fascinating because every combo has multiple light and medium attacks. And so I don't know if that means this champion is going to automatically be like a better version of Juggernaut, Unstoppable Colossus, and even Rhino. Because if you are charging the enemy with a medium and you are automatically becoming unstoppable, that means that they can't counter that attack. And so if I was using the champion, I would just charge forward with that medium attack to start off any combo. And if they try to intercept you or to counter, there's no chance for them to do that unless they too are unstoppable, because your unstoppable actually wins out on that champion versus champion punch. So that is the first takeaway that I've seen from the synergy bonuses. I also think an indestructible buff when he has 3 or more persistent charges with Mephisto specifically is really fascinating. I love Mephisto. I think Mephisto is one of the most underrated and underappreciated champions in the contest. Sentry is a bit better, but still so disappointing. He should be on power, according to the comics, with at least Hyperion, and he is nowhere close, though I realize those of you who love playing with Void sometimes bring in Sentry for that synergy bonus. Now, the third synergy bonus I don't think is as big of a deal. It's with Thor Ragnarok, which a lot of people have ranked up in the upper tiers strictly because he is the #1 prestige champion as a 5-star, but gains a persistent charge for every 20 hits in his combo meter. 20 hits is pretty big, right? Like, a lot of fights you're not going to get to do more than a 20-hit combo, even if you're fighting perfectly. I can't imagine how many fights would go to 40 or 60 hits. If that was every 10 hits, I think that would be more significant, but because it's not, I just don't see that synergy bonus being as crucial as the first two. And then the last one gains attack rating when fighting smaller champions. Now, this is really fascinating because this is one of the first times we have seen that the new size tags make a huge difference when it comes to synergies. Yes, we have seen size matter quite literally when it comes to the Celebrity Challenge. Remember where you had to bring in your extra large champions that didn't have as many debuffs triggered against them with the boss in the final fight. But for the moment, I can't really recall too many, if not any, other synergy bonuses that strictly involve the tags of the size of champions. So gains attack rating when fighting smaller champions, David and Goliath with, I say Aegon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm still a little tripped out by the A and the E combining into its own unique letter. That it looks like we're forming like the Greek alphabet now from scratch, which is kind of cool to say in 2018. And that is the nerd in me, and I digress. But regardless, really unique synergies, and I think some cool synergies, especially if you already use Mephisto or Luke Cage. Thor Ragnarok might be more of a interesting champ to be thrown in every once in a while, but I just think every 20 hits, it's just too many hits. If it was 10 or especially 5, it would be really, really important, because imagine if you gained a persistent charge for every 10 hits on the combo meter, and then when he has 3 more persistent charges, he gains an indestructible buff. You combine the Thor Ragnarok synergy with the Mephisto synergy, and then maybe Luke Cage, and you've got yourself a really, really fun attack team. Maybe you still will, but I'm a little bit more skeptical with the 20 hits versus 10 or 5. So those are my thoughts on the synergy bonuses. Really unique, and I'm thankful that we have our first look at the stats and some of the abilities of this champion. Now, I would love to know what you think about this, especially if you have some of these champs like Mephisto and Luke Cage and even Thor Ragnarok that you already fight with primarily. Does this give you more incentive to go for this champion when he is released in the arenas and the Grandmaster featured crystals in the next week or so? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching and supporting my MCOC YouTube channel. Have a great Sunday, YouTube.